The moment Claire's fingers brushed against the antique pocket watch, the world stopped. Not slowed, not hesitated, just stopped. A teacup, mid-fall, hung weightless in the air. The dust caught in the afternoon light froze mid-sway. Even the ticking of the shop's many clocks had gone silent. She barely had time to process it before everything snapped back. The cup crashed to the floor, and the shopkeeper watched her with a knowing gaze.
Ah, an interesting choice.
His voice was calm, but something about his tone made Claire's skin prickle. He took the watch from her hands, turning it over, as if reacquainting himself with an old friend. Then, with a small, almost imperceptible smile, he added,
But be mindful. Some things do more than just keep time. Some things remember it.
Claire swallowed, unsettled, but intrigued. She had always been drawn to history, to objects that held stories within them. And this watch, it was whispering for her to listen. Before we unravel its mystery, make sure you're subscribed to the Infinite Quill for more stories just like this. And now, let's begin. Claire turned the watch over in her hands as she made her way toward the door. So focused on the object, she nearly collided with something, a tall, ornate mirror standing just beside the exit. She glanced up and felt an eerie sensation, like the mirror was staring back at her instead of reflecting her. She blinked, shaking off the sensation. It was just a trick of the light, or maybe her nerves. The shopkeeper's words still lingered in her mind, and the weight of the pocket watch in her palm felt heavier than before. Her career as a journalist had led her down many strange rabbit holes, forgotten places, buried secrets, but something about this was different. As she made her way home, she couldn't shake the feeling that the watch was waiting for something. Back in her apartment, she placed the watch on her desk, letting her fingers trace the intricate engravings. The craftsmanship was exquisite. A late 19th century design, gold casing, delicate Roman numerals. But what stood out most was the second hand. Unlike a normal timepiece, which ticked in steady rhythm, this one shivered like it was resisting time itself. Curiosity won. She pressed the latch. Time stopped. The city outside her window froze mid-motion. A bird hung in the air, wings outstretched but motionless. Even the soft hum of her refrigerator was gone. Claire's heartbeat pounded in the silence. She took a breath, testing her movements. She was free to move. Everything else, suspended. It was exhilarating. And then she saw it. A chair, one she had never seen before, stood in the middle of the room. Dusty, wooden, out of place. Her breath caught in her throat. It hadn't been there a second ago. She reached out hesitantly, but before her fingers could graze its worn surface, she felt the watch grow cold in her grasp. She snapped it shut. Time roared back to life. The bird outside flapped away. The hum of the city returned, and the chair was gone. Claire's pulse hammered. She wasn't imagining this. The watch didn't just stop time, it brought things back. Things it remembered. Over the next few days, Claire tested the watch cautiously, using it in controlled moments. Each time, the anomalies grew. A candlelit table appeared in her kitchen, despite her living alone. A dusty portrait leaned against her bookshelf, depicting a man she had never seen. More unsettling still, she found faint etchings on her walls, words carved by unseen hands. Don't use it. It's not worth the cost. We are still here. Small details began to shift around her, even after using the watch. A book she swore was on the left side of her shelf now rested on the right. The clock on her wall, which she hadn't wound in months, now ticked softly, its hands spinning just a fraction too fast. She needed answers. She spent hours combing through digitized archives and newspaper clippings. A few obscure forums hinted at an unnamed watchmaker who vanished in the late 19th century. His workshop sealed, his timepieces lost to history. That night, she used the watch once more, and this time, she wasn't alone. At the edge of her vision, something moved. A man in Victorian clothing stood across the room, but unlike everything else, which was frozen in time, his coat subtly shifted, as if caught in a breeze that didn't exist. His eyes tracked her, grey and hollow. His lips moved without sound, as if whispering something lost to time. Claire took a step closer, and the shadows shifted. Figures flickered, faint, blurred remnants of those before her, some barely more than outlines, others as detailed as reflections in glass. They lingered in the edges of stillness, caught between seconds. The watchmaker stepped forward. His face was worn, his eyes filled with sorrow. He raised a gloved hand, reaching for the watch. She slammed it shut. Time snapped back, and the room was empty once more. But Claire knew now. The watch wasn't just a tool. It was a prison for those lost in time. Claire returned to the antique shop, or at least where it should have been. The once crowded storefront was empty, the windows dusty and cracked, as if it had been abandoned for decades. Her breath caught. She had come back to find the shopkeeper, to demand answers. If he had known what the watch was, maybe he could have helped her. But if the store was gone, as if it had never been there, what else had the watch erased? A cold realization settled in her chest. The watch wasn't just bringing things back from the past, it was rewriting time. She placed it on the counter of the vacant store, and she struck it. The glass shattered. The pocket watch's face fractured like a spider web, and time splintered with it. A rush of movement, ghostly figures, unraveling like threads. The air hummed, and Claire watched as the trapped souls, the ones lost to time, were finally set free. The watchmaker appeared one last time. His features softened, relief washing over his face. He nodded to her before dissolving into golden dust. And then the watch crumbled into nothing. Claire exhaled, the weight in her chest lifting. It was over. She caught her reflection in the glass of the shop's display case. She reached up, and her fingers brushed against a single silver strand of hair, a parting gift from time itself. But around her, everything was as it was before, as it should be. Behind the counter, the shopkeeper stood once more, offering her a knowing smile. Claire hesitated, searching his face for answers, but he simply gave a small nod, as if to say, "Some things are better left unknown." She stepped outside. The morning sun bathed the city in golden light, and for the first time in days, she let herself breathe. She didn't need to stop time anymore, not when every second mattered. Time is fleeting, and every moment counts. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and join us here at the Infinite Quill for more supernatural tales. And tell us, if you had a watch that could stop time, would you use it? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive.